Hey guys, I'm Amaroth and now we will take a look at DBC files, how to edit them and what they are good for. So first of all, we need to get our DBC files. DBC files are basically tables which are together making a client database. Where can we find them? We can find them in our MPQ files here. So we will run MPQ editor, file, open MPQs with options, and we will want to go into data folder, and here is locate folder. In my case it's ngb, or it can be NUS, RU, whatever else. So we will want to get into this folder here, and we will want to select all MPQs which are here. Select them all and open them in merged mode. That's important. And OK. Now here we've got this db files client folder, and in this folder we've got all DBCs which are in this World of Warcraft client. Now I've got all those DBCs already here, so I won't extract them, but you would just now select DB files folder, Ctrl E, choose a path for DBCs to be extracted to, and that's all. So that's the way of getting your DBCs. When you get your DBCs, you can browse them, find any of them you want to edit, and edit them. So what are DBCs for? Well, you can see that here are, for example, spells. So our spell mechanics are in DBCs. Here are talents. We can see that there are some vehicle settings. There are some map settings. There are some sound settings somewhere, sound here, sound entries and so on, sound settings. Here are some, for example, logs, light settings, item settings, and so on and so forth, some races and classes. But anyway, a lot of stuff here, 246 tables. So this is a huge database. A lot of game mechanics is being stored here. And anyway, a lot of things can be modified in your server emulator's code. A lot of things can be edited in your server's database. However, most of things we will be changing are being changed in DBCs. Now, how to edit a DBC file? Well, I would suggest you to just keep one such folder like I have here, with like DBCs. And now create a folder with your with your project. I've created this tutorial project here I'm working on. I will be using this folder pretty much in all my tutorials as my example project. And let's create a new folder there, db files client. So create such a folder here, and every time you would like to edit any DBC, make its copy. So let's say that we would like to change, for example, game tips is a good example. So game tips, you want to change game tips DBC, okay? Copy it into your DB files client folder first. Now the next thing to do is search for documentation. So here is this WoW wiki, or you can just enter DBC's name into Google. So you can either do this, gametips.dbc, or you can just write gametips.dbc into Google, and it will most likely find WoWDev here as well. It will be one of the first results. So gametips.dbc, as you can see, here is some sort of description. You can see structure. Just make sure that you are looking at structure which is for Wrath of the Witch King. In most, you can either see just 335A or 12,340 or Wrath of the Witch King or something like that. In this case, here is at least just structure, and these are for different client versions. So make sure that you are looking at documentation for your particular version. This is just a simple DBC, but let's take it spell DBC. You can see that there are different versions. So this is version we are looking for. And as you can see, spell DBC has huge number of columns. And you can also see some description about those columns, what are they for. So just by opening this documentation, you can get an idea what is for what, basically. Now, when we know what does the DBC store and what is it good for, you want to edit it by using some application. Uh, a very old application is this DBC editor here in my tool pack. I don't use it anymore. That's just outdated as hell. Then there is in other folder is Thales. That's also very old, outdated, unreliable. Don't use Thales. Then here is my DBC editor. I have been using it for quite a while. It isn't a bad editor, but it works at least. But I mean, it's very inconvenient to use. It's a very simple editor. It doesn't even support any shortcuts. It has one bug which is sometimes a little bit nasty. So yeah, it can be used, but really, it sucks. And the newest editor is WDBX editor. It's a great editor which is which can be used for different game versions. First of all, right click on WDBX editor. When you download it, go to your properties, open compatibility tab or whatever is it called, and make sure that you have this checked, that you are running your WDBX editor as administrator, if you have administrator rights, of course. And the second thing is just to make sure that your DBCs are being opened by WDBX editor. So let's open it in WDBX editor. Yes. Do you want to run it? And now, as you can see, it is for different versions. So we are modifying Graph.King King DBC, so Graph.King King. Now you can notice that there is a huge number of unused columns basically which are empty, so we can hide them by using this I here. And now we can really just start playing around with this. For example, this particular DBC contains game tips which are being shown on a loading screen. So you can add new ones, you can delete some, you can change them, whatever you like. When you are done, you can simply just save your modified DBC. And there are another options of editing it. For example, you can export it to SQL and so on. But I won't show you how to do it right now. This is just a basic tutorial. So when you are done with your edits, just save your changed DBC and you are pretty much done. Here we've got our modified DBCs, so we know which DBCs we have changed. We don't have this whole load of DBCs. We don't even know what they are good for. We can just separate the DBCs we have edited. As this is my project folder for my Nugget will use obviously MPQs, but it will also take into account files which are in folders. So it will open these DBCs as well, and these DBCs here will overwrite DBCs in data folder. So this is quite important for Nugget. Another thing to point out, how to get your changes into game actually. Well, that's rather simple, but just open our game folder. We would create a new patch, or you would have your own MPQ already, most likely. Create a new MPQ, patch A, and we would just add DB files client here. So all DBCs in patch should always be in DB files client, otherwise client won't read them. So we need to place all your DBCs always into DB files client folder, and here will be all our modified DBCs. That's pretty much it. So this is the basic way of editing DBCs. I hope this was useful for you. I'll catch you next time. Take care and happy modding, guys.